Pain is a test of your strength. When someone hurts you, especially a man you trusted, your first instinct may be to react, to seek justice, to demand answers, or to retaliate. But the true power lies in how you respond without reacting. Emotional detachment is often misunderstood as indifference, but in reality, it is a powerful tool that allows you to navigate life with clarity, resilience, and strength. It is not about suppressing emotions or disconnecting from the world. It is about gaining control over your reactions and not allowing external circumstances to dictate your inner peace. Emotional detachment is the ability to engage with life fully while maintaining a level of self-mastery that prevents you from being overwhelmed by negativity, manipulation, or unnecessary stress. One of the greatest advantages of emotional detachment is the ability to make decisions based on logic and wisdom rather than impulsive emotions. Many people allow their feelings to cloud their judgment, leading them to make choices they later regret. When you detach emotionally, you give yourself the space to assess situations objectively. You are not driven by temporary emotions like anger, sadness, or fear. Instead, you act with purpose, evaluating what is best for you in the long run. This mindset leads to better decision-making in relationships, business, and personal growth, as you no longer react impulsively but respond intentionally. Another key aspect of emotional detachment is the ability to protect your energy. People often drain themselves emotionally by investing too much in situations that are out of their control. They get consumed by other people's opinions, reactions, and expectations. When you develop emotional detachment, you stop allowing external forces to dictate your internal state. You learn to let go of the need to please everyone, realizing that you cannot control how others feel or behave. This frees you from the burden of unnecessary emotional weight, allowing you to focus on your goals, well-being, and personal evolution. Detachment also gives you the power to handle adversity with grace. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. Those who are emotionally attached to outcomes often struggle when things do not go as planned. They experience extreme disappointment, frustration, and stress because they tie their happiness to external circumstances. But when you practice emotional detachment, you become adaptable. You understand that setbacks, failures, and unexpected changes are part of the journey. Instead of breaking down, you adjust, learn, and keep moving forward. You develop an inner resilience that allows you to remain calm and composed no matter what life throws your way. In relationships, emotional detachment is an essential skill. It does not mean you stop caring about people. Rather, it means you maintain your sense of self, regardless of how others treat you. Many people suffer emotionally because they base their self-worth on external validation. They seek approval, attention, and acceptance, often at the cost of their own well-being. When you detach emotionally, you understand that your value does not depend on someone else's recognition. You stop tolerating toxic relationships, manipulation, and mistreatment because you are no longer emotionally tied to people who do not serve your growth. You love, respect, and engage with others, but you do so from a place of strength, not dependency. Emotional detachment is also a powerful tool in overcoming fear and anxiety. Most fears are rooted in attachment to comfort, security, outcomes, or even people. When you become emotionally detached, you free yourself from these chains. You no longer live in constant worry about what might happen or what you might lose. You develop trust in yourself, and in the process of life, this mindset allows you to take risks, step out of your comfort zone, and pursue your dreams without being paralyzed by the fear of failure. You no longer let temporary emotions dictate your path, and as a result, inner peace. You gain a sense of confidence and fearlessness. When you stop reacting to every situation with intense emotion, you cultivate a state of calmness that is unshaken by external chaos. You become the observer of your own thoughts and emotions rather than being controlled by them. This self-awareness allows you to remain balanced, even in the face of conflict or adversity. You no longer get drawn into unnecessary arguments, drama, or negativity because you understand that your peace is more valuable than engaging in battles that do not serve you. Practicing emotional detachment does not mean you stop feeling. It means you develop the discipline to choose which emotions you entertain and which ones you release. It means you understand that emotions are temporary and you do not allow them to control your actions. This level of mastery allows you to maintain emotional balance in all areas of life, from your career to your relationships to your personal growth. In the end, emotional detachment is a form of power that few people understand. It gives you control over your mind, your energy, and your life. It allows you to move forward without being weighed down by unnecessary emotional burdens. It empowers you to stay focused, make wise decisions, and live with a sense of inner freedom. When you detach from what you cannot control, you gain control over what truly matters: yourself. And that is where real power lies. There is no greater response to adversity than self-improvement. When life throws challenges your way, when people doubt you, or when you face rejection, the most powerful thing you can do is rise above it by becoming the best version of yourself. Revenge is often associated with getting back at others, but the most effective and lasting form of revenge is not about proving others wrong. It is about proving yourself right. It is about taking every setback, every criticism, and every disappointment and using it as fuel to elevate yourself beyond what anyone thought possible. Self-improvement is a silent yet unstoppable force. While others waste time seeking validation, engaging in arguments, or trying to tear others down, those who focus on bettering themselves move forward without distraction. The moment you shift your energy from resentment to growth, you begin to reclaim your power. You stop allowing negative experiences to define you, and instead, you use them as stepping stones towards success. Nothing unsettles those who doubted you more than your ability to rise above negativity with grace, discipline, and undeniable results. One of the greatest advantages of self-improvement is that it shifts your focus inward. Instead of obsessing over what others have done to you or how they perceive you, you turn your attention to your own development. You invest in your skills, mindset, and overall well-being. You commit to becoming mentally, physically, and emotionally stronger. Over time, the opinions and actions of others lose their grip on you because you realize that true success is not about impressing others. It is about surpassing your own expectations. Many people waste time trying to convince others of their worth, but real transformation happens when you stop explaining and start evolving. Instead of arguing or seeking revenge through external means, you let your progress speak for itself. The best response to doubt, rejection, or betrayal is undeniable growth. When you build something remarkable for yourself, those who underestimated you are left with no choice but to acknowledge your strength. More importantly, you no longer need their recognition because you have built a foundation of self-worth that does not rely on external approval. Self-improvement is also the most sustainable form of revenge because it creates lasting fulfillment. Seeking revenge in a traditional sense, through confrontation, bitterness, or retaliation, only brings temporary satisfaction. It does not heal wounds or bring inner peace. But when you dedicate yourself to personal growth, you create success that benefits you for a lifetime. You become stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling any challenge that comes your way. You reach a point where the past no longer holds power over you because you have outgrown it. One of the most transformative aspects of self-improvement is the discipline it builds. It requires patience, effort, and consistency. Whether it is improving your health, advancing in your career, mastering a new skill, or working on your mindset, growth does not happen overnight. It is a process of daily commitment. While others remain stuck in resentment or stagnation, you move forward with purpose. And with every small victory, your confidence grows. You begin to realize that your potential is limitless, and the challenges that once seemed overwhelming now become opportunities for further evolution. Revenge in the traditional sense is about seeking to even the score, but the best revenge is not found in bringing someone else down. It is in lifting yourself up so high that past disappointments no longer matter. When you become so successful, so fulfilled, and so content with your life, the past loses its grip on you. Those who once doubted you fade into the background as you continue to build a future that is far greater than anything they ever expected. This mindset also brings a powerful shift in how you view obstacles. Instead of seeing challenges as setbacks, you begin to see them as necessary parts of your journey. You understand that rejection is often redirection towards something better. You realize that criticism is an opportunity to refine yourself. Every hardship becomes fuel for growth rather than a source of bitterness. You develop a level of emotional intelligence and resilience that allows you to thrive in any situation. There is nothing more satisfying than looking back and realizing that the things that once hurt you no longer affect you. You no longer seek revenge because you have evolved beyond the need for it. Your success becomes your response. Your transformation becomes your proof. And in the end, the greatest form of revenge is not about making others regret their actions. It is about reaching a level of self-fulfillment where their actions no longer matter at all. Indifference is one of the most powerful responses you can give to any situation that threatens your peace, self-respect, or emotional well-being. It is not about apathy or a lack of care, but rather about refusing to give energy to things that do not serve you. When you master the art of indifference, you take control of your emotions, actions, and mindset. You stop allowing external factors to dictate how you feel, and you develop an inner strength that speaks louder than any words ever could. People often believe that the best way to respond to negativity, disrespect, or betrayal is through confrontation, explanation, or proving a point. But in reality, the most impactful response is no response at all. When you remain indifferent, you strip away the power of those who seek to affect you. You communicate that their words, actions, or opinions hold no weight in your life. This is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of immense strength. It takes discipline and self-control to walk away from situations that do not deserve your energy. Indifference makes it clear that you are not easily shaken. When someone expects a reaction from you and does not receive it, they are left with nothing to fuel their ego or control over your emotions. Silence and disinterest can be more unsettling to others than any argument or retaliation. It sends the message that you are above the situation, that you have moved on, and that you do not need validation or resolution from anyone else. This is a level of power that few people achieve because most are conditioned to react impulsively. This mindset applies not only to conflicts, but to all areas of life. In relationships, indifference can be the ultimate test of power. When someone mistreats you or takes you for granted, the most effective way to show your self-worth is not through begging, chasing, or arguing. It is through your absence. When you no longer react to their inconsistency, manipulation, or disrespect, they begin to realize that they have lost access to your energy. Nothing makes a person reconsider their actions more than realizing they no longer have an effect on you. In professional settings, indifference can separate you from the noise and distractions of competition, office politics, or unnecessary drama. Those who get caught up in gossip, rivalries, or validation seeking often waste valuable energy on things that do not contribute to their growth. But when you remain focused on your own path, unbothered by the opinions or actions of others, you naturally rise above the chaos. Your success becomes a byproduct of your ability to stay centered rather than your need to prove yourself to anyone. Indifference also allows you to protect your peace. Life is full of unpredictable challenges, and emotional reactions often lead to stress, frustration, and unnecessary suffering. But when you learn to detach from things that do not align with your growth, you create an environment of inner calm. You stop engaging in battles that drain your energy. You no longer feel the need to argue, prove a point, or seek closure from people who are incapable of giving it. You simply move forward, knowing that your time and energy are too valuable to be wasted on what does not matter. This level of emotional detachment is not about ignoring everything in life. It is about being selective with where you place your focus. It means recognizing what deserves your attention and what does not. It means understanding that not every battle is worth fighting, not every insult is worth addressing, and not every person is worth chasing. When you reach this level of awareness, you realize that the most powerful response is often no response at all. Indifference forces others to reflect on their own actions. When people no longer receive the reaction they expected, they are left to sit with their own behavior. This is especially true in relationships, friendships, and even professional environments. Those who seek to control, manipulate, or provoke others thrive on emotional reactions. The moment you stop giving them that satisfaction, they are forced to face their own insignificance in your life. Nothing is more unsettling to someone who craves attention than realizing they no longer have a place in your mind. True power lies in your ability to remain unshaken. When you are indifferent to negativity, rejection, or drama, you gain the ability to dictate your own peace. You realize that your self-worth does not come from external validation but from within. You stop explaining yourself, you stop defending your choices, and you stop wasting energy on things that do not align with your growth. Instead, you channel that energy into becoming stronger, wiser, and more focused on what truly matters. When you master indifference, you communicate your power without ever saying a word. You show the world that you are in control of yourself, that you do not need to react to every challenge, and that you are too focused on your own path to be disturbed by distractions. The loudest statement you can ever make is not through words or confrontation, but through your ability to walk away, remain unbothered, and keep moving forward with confidence. Setting clear boundaries is one of the most powerful acts of self-respect and self-care. It is not about shutting people out or being unapproachable, but about defining what is acceptable and what is not in your life. When you establish boundaries, you create a structure that protects your peace, energy, and well-being. Many people struggle with setting boundaries because they fear disappointing others, but the truth is that without boundaries, you end up disappointing yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and if you allow people to constantly overstep, take advantage, or drain you, you will eventually feel exhausted, resentful, and lost. One of the key benefits of setting boundaries is that it teaches people how to treat you. When you clearly communicate your limits, you send a message that your time, energy, and emotions are valuable. People who respect you will honor these boundaries, while those who do not will reveal themselves. This awareness allows you to surround yourself with relationships that uplift and support you rather than those that drain and take advantage of you. Many people struggle with unhealthy relationships because they fail to enforce boundaries. They allow others to dictate their emotions, time, and decisions, leading to frustration and unhappiness. But when you set firm limits, you reclaim control over your own life. Boundaries are not just about saying no to others. They are about saying yes to yourself. When you set boundaries, you create space for your own growth, peace, and fulfillment. You no longer feel obligated to entertain toxic relationships, unnecessary obligations, or situations that do not serve your well-being. You learn to prioritize what truly matters and let go of what drains you. This shift allows you to operate from a place of confidence and self-assurance rather than guilt and obligation. A major reason people struggle with boundaries is the fear of rejection or conflict. They worry that saying no will make them seem selfish or unkind. But true self-respect means recognizing that you are not responsible for managing other people's emotions at the expense of your own well-being. People who genuinely care about you will respect your boundaries, while those who react negatively often do so because they benefited from your lack of limits. Setting boundaries forces others to take accountability for their actions, rather than relying on you to accommodate their every need. Boundaries also create balance in your life. Without them, it is easy to become overwhelmed by obligations, commitments, and the expectations of others. Many people stretch themselves too thin, saying yes to everything only to find themselves exhausted and unfulfilled. But when you learn to set boundaries, you become more intentional with your time and energy. You stop agreeing to things out of guilt or fear and start making choices that align with your goals and values. This shift allows you to invest your energy in what truly matters rather than wasting it on things that do not serve you. Emotional boundaries are just as important as physical ones. Many people struggle with taking on the emotions of others, feeling responsible for fixing problems that are not theirs to solve. But emotional boundaries mean understanding that you cannot save everyone, and you are not responsible for carrying burdens that do not belong to you. You can be compassionate without allowing others to drain your emotional energy. You can support people without sacrificing your own well-being. One of the biggest challenges in emotional boundaries allow you to protect your mental health. It is not enough to set a boundary once for those you care about. Reinforce it over time. People will test your limits, and if you are not firm, they will continue to push. It is important to stand by your boundaries even when it feels uncomfortable. The more consistent you are, the more others will understand that your limits are non-negotiable. Over time, setting boundaries becomes second nature, and you no longer feel guilty for prioritizing yourself. Boundaries also strengthen your sense of self-worth. When you establish limits, you affirm to yourself that you deserve respect and consideration. You stop allowing people to take advantage of you, and you develop a stronger sense of confidence in your ability to advocate for yourself. This self-respect radiates into every aspect of your life, from your relationships to your career. People are drawn to those who have a strong sense of self, and boundaries are a key part of that foundation. Setting boundaries does not mean you stop being kind or caring. It means you love yourself enough to protect your own energy. It is about recognizing that you deserve the same respect, space, and consideration that you so freely give to others. When you master the art of setting clear boundaries, you step into a life of balance, self-assurance, and inner peace. You no longer feel trapped by the expectations of others, and instead, you live life on your own terms. Mastering your emotions is one of the most powerful skills you can develop in life. It is not about suppressing or ignoring how you feel, but about understanding, managing, and channeling your emotions in a way that serves you rather than controls you. Many people live at the mercy of their emotions, reacting impulsively to situations, allowing negativity to dictate their decisions, or being easily influenced by the moods of others. But when you learn to master your emotions, you take control of your life. You stop being reactive and you start being intentional. You no longer allow external circumstances to dictate your internal state. Instead, you create a sense of inner stability that allows you to navigate life with clarity, confidence, and purpose. The first step to mastering your emotions is self-awareness. Most people go through life unaware of why they feel the way they do. They react to situations based on conditioned responses, past experiences, or fleeting impulses without truly understanding what is driving their emotions. But when you take the time to observe and analyze your feelings, you gain clarity. You begin to recognize the triggers that cause emotional reactions, whether it is fear, frustration, insecurity, or past trauma. The more self-aware you become, the more control you have over your responses. You shift from reacting unconsciously to responding intentionally. Another key aspect of emotional mastery is learning to pause before reacting. Many conflicts, misunderstandings, and regrets stem from reacting impulsively to emotions rather than taking a moment to assess the situation. When you feel anger rising, instead of lashing out, you take a deep breath and reflect. When fear tries to hold you back, instead of retreating, you evaluate whether the fear is rational. This ability to pause and assess allows you to make decisions from a place of wisdom rather than emotional impulse. It gives you the upper hand in any situation because you are no longer being controlled by temporary feelings. Emotional mastery also requires emotional intelligence, which means understanding not only your own emotions, but also the emotions of others. When you can read and interpret emotions effectively, you develop stronger relationships, make better decisions, and navigate social situations with ease. Emotional intelligence allows you to respond to conflict with understanding rather than defensiveness. It helps you see beyond surface reactions and understand the deeper needs and motivations of people. This skill is invaluable in both personal and professional life because it enables you to connect with others on a deeper level while maintaining control over your own emotions. One of the most difficult but crucial parts of mastering your emotions is learning how to regulate negative emotions. Anger, sadness, fear, and frustration are natural, but if left unchecked, they can become destructive. The key is not to suppress them, but to process them in a healthy way. Instead of allowing anger to explode outward, you channel it into productive action. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, you use it as motivation to prepare and improve. Instead of dwelling in sadness, you acknowledge it, learn from it, and move forward. Every emotion has a purpose, and when you learn to use them as tools rather than obstacles, you become unstoppable. Mastering your emotions also means detaching from external validation. Many people's emotions fluctuate based on the opinions, actions, and reactions of others. They feel happy when they receive praise and discouraged when they face criticism. But true emotional mastery comes from within. When your sense of self-worth is not dependent on external factors, you remain emotionally stable regardless of what happens around you. You develop resilience, confidence, and inner peace that cannot be easily shaken.